This refrigerator upgrade we did back in 2018 when we did the RV rebuild. The reason we went with this refrigerator was...
Now the cost has gone up on this refrigerator since we purchased it. And when we purchased the refrigerator, we were going to need to add a battery bank and solar in order to support the power demands of this refrigerator. In addition, we also wanted to go boondocking, and in order to stay out longer, we were going to need a larger battery bank than we currently had and the solar to support our power demands, both the refrigerator and the rest of our systems. The battery bank we looked at cost about $1,200, and the solar system that we were looking at also cost $1,200, for a total of $2,400 for those two systems total. When you add the cost of the refrigerator to that, we bring that to about $3,300. The replacement OEM two-way propane refrigerator was $2,700. So by replacing the old refrigerator with this new 12-volt refrigerator and buying a battery bank and solar system, we spent an additional $600. We thought that was a great way to use the refrigerator budget to upgrade our systems and try something new.
Maintenance on this refrigerator has been fairly simple. We've cleaned the front of this refrigerator with Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaner or Brasso, a stainless steel polish. And on the inside, we simply wipe it down with the Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaner as well. The other thing that's great about this refrigerator is it's magnetic, so you can put magnets on it. The other thing with this refrigerator is it does make noise. That compressor makes noise. Now, if you've lived with a refrigerator in a home, you're familiar with the noise. It's the same noise. It's a compressor. This just happens to be a 12-volt compressor, which means the refrigerator can run directly off of our batteries. No inverter required. The bad part about this compressor running is it kills our sound quality in our videos. But if you've watched any of our videos, you know our sound quality sucks anyway. So there you go.
This refrigerator did not come with any sort of locking mechanism, so we simply added these child safety locks to the refrigerator so that we can lock it when we're moving down the road. Another addition we made to this refrigerator was a thermometer for the inside of the refrigerator. We wanted to better track the interior temperature so that we can keep our food at a safe temperature.
This refrigerator has worked well for us. We are not complaining about this refrigerator at all. But there are a few negatives about it, and we just want to go over so that it's a pro and con video. One, the mounting instructions for this are non-existent. How do you mount this in a cabinet? We had to kind of come up with our own system. Two, it does draw quite a bit of power, 8 amps while it's running, and it also draws power in the defrost mode. Figure out, I kept having a phantom draw about 8 or 9 to 11 amps, and I wasn't sure where it was going. Well, turns out it was going to the refrigerator, and when it's in defrost mode, it's quiet, it's silent. I found that out the hard way, and that was a few months into using it. So you have to have a good 12-volt power source to go with this refrigerator. Otherwise, it can drain your battery bank fairly quickly. The other issue we had with it was it was dripping, and we kind of made a video about this, but we didn't go into too many details because we didn't know what we were looking for. Turns out that the adjustment in the freezer was set too much. This is just a simple vent in the freezer that allows cold air to go to the freezer. The temperature controls are down in the refrigerator. So by having this set too high at maximum, we were creating a lot of condensation. Now, in the 2.5 years that we've had this refrigerator, we've only shut it down one time, and that was the one time we were trying to find this drip. Other than that, it has ran 24 hours since we've installed it. The last bad thing with this refrigerator is the temperature selector is quite touchy. It does take me a while to get it set just right. And sometimes driving down the road, it may come out of adjustment. It's hard to tell. Me and Lauren, we're not sure. Maybe we bump it while we're putting food in or not. But sometimes it goes out of adjustment and it takes me a couple days to bring it right into the exact spec that I like it to run at as far as temperature.
One of the things I have particularly loved about this refrigerator is, one, that it fit in the same cabinet that the old refrigerator came out of. But in addition, even though it's the same size as the old refrigerator, the interior storage is much larger. We have a 10 cubic foot refrigerator here, and because of the difference in components, the fins, or the heat exchanger for the old two-way refrigerator, was included in the cubic footage that they say the interior of that refrigerator is. Because we don't have that in this 12-volt refrigerator, it opens up much more storage space. It holds plenty of food for Ben and I, and we like to go shopping for a month's worth of groceries at a time. So I can store a month's worth of groceries in the freezer and in the refrigerator.
What we really love about the Everchill 12-volt compressor refrigerator is that it helped us take a step towards going propaneless, which we finally achieved just a few months ago. Also, it runs off of renewable energy. The solar panels on the roof charge our batteries on the inside, and then the refrigerator runs off the power that's in the batteries. Now, it doesn't run off of renewable energy all of the time. I wish it could. But I did have a goal. I wanted to be able to power the refrigerator from the solar. And I can say the first full summer that we had this installed, this refrigerator ran off of renewable energy from April to October. That's April to October that this refrigerator was solely powered by the sun. And I have more. Not only was this refrigerator powered by the sun, but the entire 12-volt system in our RV was powered by our solar system. We were very happy with the results of this. But when October hit and the sun got lower in the sky and the days got shorter, definitely we had to plug in the 12-volt side. But that was pretty impressive for our first go of a major solar system. 6 months of powering the 12-volt side of the RV solely off of renewable energy.